part 2. Gonna meet up with Andy of ANDYTHRAXX Mining. So that'll be a pretty cool little highlight of the road trip, I'd say. I am parked right up at the top of the Coquihalla Pass, somewhere up there. This is where my little tarp was on the ground, and is currently just thawing away in the back of the car. Car's been warming up for a little while here, so with any luck we can just operate this little thing. Safety first, of course. If I can remember how the heck to get out of this place. I'm excited and warm now. With any luck, my windshield will be completely defrosted by the time I actually get to the highway. You can see the view inside my car right now. Later. So I'm out. I might as well tell you exactly where I am today. I'm in the part of British Columbia that is just west of Alberta, somewhere between there and the Pacific Ocean. With Andy of ANDYTHRAXX Mining. Some of you may actually know this guy. And we're gonna go look for some gold today. So it's kind of the highlight of my week.
I'm pumped too. I just got a phone call out of the blue that someone was gonna be in my neck of the woods, so I'm just pumped to take them out for the day.
Yeah, I figure 5-6 ounces a piece, but we've only got a few hours of daylight, so you know, I'd be happy with 1 ounce. We're out here in the woods, and the most important question I have to ask is, let's just sort of get this in the background. That tree there is really cool. Do you know what type of tree that is?
That is a maple tree.
So that's a maple, like with the
that's where
red
our
leaves and
Canadian syrup comes from. That's, you know, that is like the Canadian tree.
Because like I figured to do good on YouTube, you got to give the people what they want. And I'm just thinking, like, my subscribers, your subscribers, given like our surroundings, right? Like, thing that's on everybody's mind right now is like, these trees are amazing. The air smells so good. So like, how old do you think that tree is?
My guess is that tree is like 80 years old, maybe 70 years old, because they actually just logged this site, I think 7 years ago, and the majority of the trees were 70 years old. And you can see it in the stumps around. There's been at least 2, but I think maybe 3 generations of logging here. And there's some of the biggest old original stumps. So they're 500-year-old tree stumps that are kind of hidden. And then there's the next ones that are about 70, 80 years old. And so that would have been from that second growth.
Okay, so we're thinking all these are that 70-year-old range?
I reckon so, 70, 80. I don't know if I'm off, you know, but I think it's a pretty valid guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, not that anyone else cares, but just like, this is only for my own curiosity. How old is this thing?
This wash plant?
Yeah.
So this is actually, I don't know, I don't totally know. It's maybe, I think it was built in like the 80s or the 90s by somebody like a farmer or somebody like that. Because it was, you can tell it's like he used parts of equipment from like a gravel pit or some kind of a quarry, but it was actually a soil screener. Someone built it out of parts and made it into a soil screener, and that's how I bought it. And then I converted it this summer. I spent more than 2 months and more than 12 hours a day building this and adding the hoppers and all of the catch basins, you know, and plumbing it and making it so that it was a placer trommel. So now This is actually a 2020 ANDYTHRAXX 25 yard an hour trommel as of now. Yet it's probably been around as a soil screener for 20, 30 years.
Now, when you say 25 yards per hour, is that just based on the soil screening capacity? Said it was 25 yards per hour? Or like, how do you know?
That's kind of,
How do
I
you-
designed the
What's a 10 yard per hour?
well,
What's a
that's
25?
it. Yeah, I think most importantly, it comes down to the sluice box size,
Yeah.
and then the amount of water you got in it.
Right.
Because no matter what, like you can shove all you want in there. If your sluice ain't big enough and you don't have enough water, that's exactly what's going to restrict you.
Right.
So this is plumbed to be run with a 3-inch pump.
Okay.
However, I left a room here to up the size of that to a 4-inch or even a 5 or 6-inch, depending on what the trommel actually demands.
So this is just a manifold then.
That's a
that
manifold, exactly.
Gets fed for
That's
wherever
right.
you want to put water.
Fresh water in here or the other side, and whichever side you run it in, the opposite is your bypass.
Right.
So if I need to shut down real quickly, I can bypass and it just blows out there. These lines will run up to the shaker on either side once the shaker deck is mounted up there.
Okay.
This line goes up to the trommel sprayer, and then these are just additional lines for hoses.
Okay.
And I even just went, I just went the extra mile and put a pressure gauge on it.
Hey, that's pretty
Because
cool.
why not, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a 5-horse, 700 or 1700 RPM motor, which is like apparently more than twice the torque of its 3200 or 3600 RPM. You can get a 5-horse 3600 or 5-horse 1700.
Right.
But the slower RPM is actually like apparently maybe as much as 10 times more torque even.
Right.
And so I was like, oh,
So
that's the way to
less
go.
need for like zeroing it down or.
That's right. And this thing was just spinning too fast to begin with anyway. So I reduced it as many ways as I could. And that, by adding that did the final. They're like, big, like.
I mean, I'm sure this thing's gonna find a way to break itself out here, but we'll give it a little closer look here later on in the video, or maybe the next video, do a real deep dive on this thing. But I'd say it looks pretty heavy duty, and sorry to bug you guys. Like, we're here to look at trees, but I don't know. I posted a video once of a cat, and I get some of the comments I get are like, how dare you, thumbs down. Like, somebody went to the effort of like putting a thumbs down in the comments instead of just hitting the
so
thumbs
you really
down.
see it, yeah.
And I wanted to make the next video like, so hello to welcome to Utmost Outdoors. I've gotten into nothing but cat videos now, and unfortunately I don't have a cat, so we're gonna have to talk about this trommel, but figured we'd use the tree to talk about instead. But yeah, no, this is really cool. ANDYTHRAXX, everybody, he's got his own YouTube channel. I mean, I'm a pretty big deal on YouTube, like a little over 1,000 subscribers at the moment of filming this, so not that anyone really wants to hear about this guy, but you can go check out his channel. I'll throw a link in below, and he's basically gonna try to mine this place and sort of do this full time and actually like be a gold miner for a living, which is my dream. So I want to see what he's up to, and you should go check it out.
Cool. I've been watching Kyle for a couple years now, I guess. And I just love, when YouTube recommends a new channel that I haven't seen before, I love checking it out. And when someone's, really real and down to earth, that's what strikes a chord with me the most. And that's what I love about Utmost Outdoors. It's very, very authentic. And plus
He subscribed to the cats.
he rips up rivers in river boats, and he high banks, and he does all sorts of adventures, solo camps. Like a lot of people, won't even camp on their own, but this guy goes way off, and I just think it's awesome.
Yeah, I actually recently lost my job for camping in the woods on public land on my own time after work. That was interesting.
I can't believe that, man.
I'll tell you more about that story when the time comes, but maybe I have to become a full-time gold miner now too.
It's the dream. It is the dream, right? And so
What's weird
there's
is
a lot of ways to do it.
if it wasn't your dream to do this, like, this is hard work. And not only is it hard work, but it's a steep learning curve. And there's so much to know and so much to go wrong. And you can't just know one thing. You have to have all these skills that you've built up over time. And like, it's like renovating houses. You're sitting there on YouTube all the time like, oh, what's the rough opening for my French doors? The amount that you have to know to do this and the amount of effort it takes to do this The only people I think that are ever going to be successful at gold mining have to be passionate about it. And this guy's passionate about it. And so if you can break even and just keep things going and make ends meet, that's all you need to keep going. And the longer you keep going, the more you learn, and the more you learn, the better you get to the point where you can actually make a living doing this. And so, fingers crossed, I want to see this mine up and running and still going a year from now, and him not needing a day job.
That'd be the ticket. Yeah. I think we're poised to have a good shot at it, at least.
Yeah. But for the rest of today, we can't just make a video without finding some gold, right?
Exactly.
All right. So why don't we have a little walk around and show me where the gold is?
All right. Yeah. Let's go to the money zone.
We're at a river. We're going to go mine some gold or prospect for some gold. Enough talk. Let's go find something.
All right. It's a bit more than a pebble.
I've got a pan.
A little bit of good luck.
I got some good luck.
Extra.
We're getting rich, boys.
Let's see.
Still that same pan. I swear, if there isn't an ounce in this, I'm gonna quit gold mining. It's gonna be Utmost Outdoors, a channel about cats. Alrighty. Alrighty. On this side here. He does it. You know, I thought I was going to have to quit gold mining there, but there are two tiny little flakes. We got to get deeper then. Yeah, there's two like Alberta-sized colors. We're gonna have to go deeper in order to find anything good here. But I have a wetsuit. I will be sniping at some point, just not today. But the bedrock right here, this is that Pioneer Poly level stuff. We gotta go for a swim at some point to really do well. Do a few more pans and see what we get though. Here's the gold that Andy and I found from this little hole, and we found just a little bit. It's got a bit of texture to it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I think digging in the creek, it just makes it really hard to actually clean the bedrock, and it's very cold on the hands, so we tried a little bit, but possibly we'll do better in that pan over there, coming from the bank where we can actually get to the bedrock. But you know, so far, that's what I've got in my pan, and that's all I've got for you today.
I wish we found more. It always just takes a little bit of time to get into the better, you know, better gold, the better ground. But it's getting dark already. It was just a fun day to get out and show Kyle some gold.
And it's going to be a great road trip. So we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.